Hello, Grace Church family. This is session 6 of Hidden Treasures, and I've been asked to share some things about prayer. And one of the misconceptions that I have found in my life is that people think that prayer is a one-way communication thing. I need something from God. I want to talk to God. Please, God, help me. And it's one way. My emphasis today is to share with you some perspectives, some different aspects that I have studied and found myself to be true about prayer. I want to share with you 3 things about prayer. Prayer is personal, prayer is a privilege, and prayer is a portal. So let's talk about personal. When you have a communication with someone, you want to have a two-way communication. And so what this means is you have to spend time listening, not just transmitting. God's the same way. God wants us to have relationship with Him. He wants to hear what's on our heart. He wants those desires that He puts into our heart to be, to come out in our lives and to show forth His glory through us. And there are various ways that He does that. But to make prayer personal means you have to dedicate time. You have to spend time in prayer. And that word prayer, if you do study on that word, how it's used throughout the Bible, often it does mean an oral, speaking type prayer, but quite often it is also a intercession, looking for how can I supplement not just my need, but how can I bring forth the needs of others? And so what you'll see in your study is different kinds of prayer, different aspects of prayer. And so prayer is personal. Prayer is also a privilege. When you look at the Old Testament, prayer was quite often brought to us through a mediator, a judge, a prophet, someone like that. The people had to go to. But with the New Testament, with Jesus, what He brings to the environment for us is that He was the sacrifice. He opens the door. He basically brought us into the throne room of God, and now we have an audience with the King. In old times, the king, you had to have an audience, and if you went before the king without having permission, it was not going to be good for you. Today, we have an audience with the king all the time. And so remember that. Prayer is a privilege. Another aspect of that is it's an honor to be able to take the things of God and bring that before other people. So when you pray, if you pray in a group, you have an opportunity at this point in time to be a testimony to God's grace, to God's strength, and to share your faith with others. And so it's not only good to pray, but it can be a testimony as well as worship. So remember those aspects. Prayer is a privilege. And then prayer is a portal. You know, I mentioned that we have access to the throne room of God. But it doesn't stop there. It's not just communication. We also have access to the things of God. So when Jesus gives us a pattern of prayer, He says, let it be done in earth as it is in heaven. That is basically a portal between the things of heaven now manifesting here on earth in the earthly realm. I mean, it might sound like science fiction, space type show, but if you believe in God and if you have faith in the things not seen, the things of heaven can be manifested through the will of God right here on earth. And our access to that is through the portal of prayer. So we have to be aware of that. You have to be intentional in prayer. You have to be bold enough to take hold of the things of God and declare those things to be in the earth as they are in heaven. So I want you to remember those aspects. Prayer is personal, prayer is privilege, and prayer is a portal. As you go through your discovery group activities today, please remember that it's God's kingdom. We are just subjects of the kingdom, but we have authority in the kingdom. It's like you're wearing the signet ring of the king every step you take on this earth. So go out there, take charge, be an awesome testimony for a God, and just enjoy loving God as you pray for others, pray with others, and intercede for the things that are pleasing to the Lord.